everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I will be discussing a small topic, that is transportation in plants, from chapter 1 of class 10th biology, that is life processes. This is a plant biology related topic. The topic is transportation in plants. So transportation in plants means how nutrients and water transport into plant. We will be understanding the topic by reading it from NCERT. So now let's have a look. We have discussed earlier how plants take in simple compounds such as carbon dioxide and photosynthesize energy stored in their chlorophyll containing organs, namely leaves. So what does this line say? It says, हमने पहले डिस्कस किया है कि प्लांट जैसे कि कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, वाटर, सनलाइट लेते हैं एंड दे डू द प्रोसेस ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस. नाउ व्हाट इज फोटोसिंथेसिस? फोटोसिंथेसिस इज द process by which plant make their own food. So by taking the carbon dioxide, water, and in the presence of sunlight they make their own food, which and this process of photosynthesis happens in the leaves, and leaves contain chlorophyll. So this line says that leaves containing chlorophyll, here the process of photosynthesis happen by which plants make their own food. Now let's move further. The other kinds of raw materials which are needed for building plant bodies will also have to be taken separately. Now plants need many type of nutrients, for example macronutrients and micronutrients for their development, so they have to be taken. Energy in the form of C6H12O6 by the process of photosynthesis using raw material is synthesized by plant itself. That is why plant is known as autotroph, using leaf. But there are other materials which are needed for building plant bodies, and they have to be taken up separately. For example, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So for plants, the soil is the nearest and richest source of raw materials like nitrogen, phosphorus, and other minerals. So what is the richest source of raw materials for the plants? Like nitrogen, phosphorus, and other minerals? Soil. As we all know, soil is anchored, like plant is anchored to the soil, so its roots are present in the soil, so they can easily absorb these other raw materials which are needed for building plant body. The absorption of these substances therefore occurs through the part in contact with the soil. Now which part is in contact with the soil? The roots. So the absorption of these substances therefore occurs through the root which is present in the soil, and namely roots. If the distance between soil containing organs and chlorophyll containing organs are small. Now see, if the distance between soil contacting organs, which is the soil contacting organ? This is the soil contacting organ, that is root. And chlorophyll contacting organ, now which is the chlorophyll containing organ? That is leaf. So if the distance between the leaf and the soil is small, if this distance is small, energy and raw materials, energy that is glucose which is transferred from leaf to root and to other parts also, and raw materials that is nitrogen, phosphorus, or some other minerals, they can easily diffuse to all parts of the plant body wherever they are needed. But if these distances become large, for example the case where we see large trees, distances becomes large because of the changes in plant body, because some plants are tall, diffusion process will not be sufficient. Now what is diffusion? Diffusion is a process of movement of a substance from a high concentration region to a low concentration region. Okay, so this is basically based on the concentration gradient. If the distance is short, this can happen, but if these distances become large, diffusion process will not be sufficient. For example, if any raw material is needed for the development of shoot apex, and the plant is above 2-3 meter, then the diffusion process will not be sufficient to provide raw materials in leaves. And also if the leaf is present at 2 to 3 meter distance and the energy is needed in the root, the energy which is synthesized by the process of photosynthesis, it will not reach the roots that much efficiently. So for this, a proper system of transportation is therefore essential. So we need a proper system of transportation. Energy needs differ between different body designs. We all know this we can relate with like the energy requirements of an infant is not as equal as a 14-year-old youth. In the same way, a person who has a sedentary lifestyle, his or her energy requirements is not as same as that of a wrestler. So energy needs differ between different body designs. Plants do not move, and plant bodies have a large proportion of dead cells in many tissues. So as we know, plants do not move and they have a large proportion of dead cells. Yes, they have a large proportion of dead cells in many tissues. As a result, plant have low energy needs as they do not have a large number of living cells. So like most of the cells are not performing metabolic activities for which they require energy. So that is why the energy requirements of plants are very low, and they can use relatively slow transport system. As the energy requirement is low, they can use a slow transport system. The distances over which transport system have to operate, however, can be very large in plants such as very tall trees. The distances over which transport system have to operate, there are many trees which we like encounter in our day-to-day life, that they are very large, and the transport of water and nutrients transport of water and raw materials from the soil and the photosynthesis product from the leaves to other parts of the plant is happening in those plants also which are very large. So how does this operate? What is the mechanism behind it? So plant transport system will move energy stores from leaf and raw materials from roots. Okay, so plant transport system, it move energy stores from leaves, energy which is stored in the leaf, which is synthesized by the process of photosynthesis. It is transported from leaves to other part of the plant, and raw materials like water and minerals are transported from roots to other part of the plant. See, the transport of energy is bidirectional. From leaf, it moves to the root also and to the shoot apex also, wherever it is required. But the transportation of like water and minerals which happen to the soil, it is unidirectional only. These two pathways are constructed as independently organized conducting tubes. So there are two pathways. One for the transportation of energy, which is synthesized by the process of photosynthesis in the leaves, and one the water and minerals, which is transported through roots to other part of the plant. One, the xylem. The xylem moves water and minerals which are obtained from the soil. So xylem is one which moves water and minerals from the soil. And the phloem, it transports products of photosynthesis from the leaves. Xylem transport the water from the soil, and phloem transport the product of photosynthesis which is synthesized in the leaves where they are synthesized to other parts of the plant wherever they are required. Thank you.